Dell is bringing the bold design of last year's XPS 13 Plus to the rest of the XPS lineup, and that includes new 14-inch and 16-inch models. You can also forget the whole Plus part of the name. They're just the XPS 13, XPS 14, and XPS 16. You can pour one out for the XPS 17, and probably even the 15 eventually. Each new XPS features the defining features of the XPS 13 Plus, and mainly it's that seamless all-glass wrist rest, which hides a haptic touchpad right in the center. There are also really large keycaps across the keyboards, and a touch-sensitive function row right above the keyboard as well. Really, it's minimalism Dell is going for here. When you're looking at these computers, all you really see is polished aluminum and glass everywhere. And as you can expect, they also all have Dell's Infinity Edge screens, which means they have really, really thin screen bezels. So really, the screens do dominate everything when you're looking at these machines. Now, I do think Dell went a little overboard with minimalism last year. The XPS 13 Plus only had 2 USB-C ports, and it didn't even have a headphone jack, so it didn't feel like a powerhouse creative ultra portable for me. That's pretty much still true of the new XPS 13. It's exactly the same case. But the 14 and 16 are a little more interesting. They both have 3 USB-C Thunderbolt 4 ports, which just makes them a lot more flexible. They do have headphone jacks, thank God, and they also have micro SD card slots if you want to, trade data between other devices. The 2 bigger laptops also feature USB-C to USB Type-A and also HDMI connections in the box. Notably, that's not included with the XPS 13. Now, as you'd expect, all these new laptops feature Intel's new Core Ultra chips, which also means they have MPUs for handling AI-related tasks. That supposedly makes them more useful than older machines, especially if you don't even have a GPU on board. So you could do things like the Windows Studio Effect background blurs, and there are going to be apps coming out soon that can also get better processing by using MPUs. So that's some stuff in Photoshop, some Audacity processing. And for creators, these MPUs could be a really big deal. Now, if you do need more horsepower, the XPS 14 and 16 can also be equipped with NVIDIA's RTX 40 series GPUs, so you can get some decent graphics performance in there too. I still wouldn't call these gaming machines though. All of these new machines also feature variable refresh rate Full HD Plus screens ranging from 30Hz to 120Hz. But they can also be equipped with OLED screens. The XPS 13 and 14 have optional 3K OLED screens with a maximum 60Hz and 120Hz refresh rates, respectively, while the XPS 16 has a 4K OLED panel that can hit 90Hz. Those higher refresh rates do make a difference, although it's a shame about the OLED model on the 14-inch. When you have higher refresh rates, screens just look smoother, so that makes scrolling and doing just about anything on these machines just look nice. And given that we've seen that in plenty of laptops last year, including the MacBook Pros, and also lots of stuff from Asus and other companies, it really makes sense for Dell to go for it here. I'll be honest, I wasn't a huge fan of the XPS 13 Plus, just never really felt comfortable to me, and also those 2 ports were just really limiting. So looking at this new lineup, I'm really intrigued by the XPS 14, especially because that screen, which is actually 14.5 inches, almost looks like a 15-inch display if you're leaning in really close and squinting a bit. Now that this new design has taken over all of Dell's XPS lines, you can expect its older designs from the past few years to just go away. So if you want that look, you'll have to go back and buy older models or refurbished ones or something. Dell says its new XPS machines will be available soon, with the 13-inch starting at $1299, the XPS 14 starting at $1699, and the biggest XPS 16 starting at $1899. Stay tuned to Engadget for more laptop news from CES 2024, and if you dug this video, be sure to like and subscribe.